Skylar has like fucking 28 chickens or something ridiculous.
Chicken? Like real chickens?
Yes, and you go in his yard and he's got this elaborate chicken coop and Cammy's out there fucking like tending to him. I stopped by there, it was a while ago. And it's like a legit, like dialed in chicken coop. It's serious.
I love that.
I know. And it's like goofy because Skylar, if you didn't know him, he's kind of like hippie-ish when it comes to that kind of shit. Like, it seems like, right? And I love that about, like, he's just a different type of human.
He is. He's fantastic.
He's cool. He's cool as fuck. Yeah.
He texted me the other day.
Oh, yeah? Picture
of a crew cab short bed he just bought for $500.
Oh, wait a minute. Did he? Okay, so here's one for you. Skylar bought a whole, I think it's like acres of OBSs that are sitting out for like eons.
Yep.
That have moss and all kinds of shit on them. And so I drive by this every day we come to the cabin. It's on 58.
Oh, really?
So I drive by it and I see him pulling them out with an excavator and stacking them up.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for the son of a bitch that has to pull the axles out from underneath them.
Oh.
Because that's what he's doing.
It's going to be rough. I mean, it sounds like one of them is going to be a Nora truck that we're building together.
Who knows? Skylar's awesome. I was hoping that Tanner had to go work in the mud and stuff. So I called him. I'm like, because Skylar called me, told me what he's doing. And then I'm like, oh, let's side rod Tanner. I say, hey, Tanner, guess you're going to go work out in the mud again. You know, he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I hear what Sky's doing. He's like, I'm not even going over there. I'm not even going over there to pull these trucks out of this junkyard. I don't want any part of it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I hope you get wrangled into that.
I hope so.
Tanner's a crack up.
Is he enjoying it over there?
Oh yeah. He did a stint with us and I think it was good for him to learn and grow, and maybe he didn't grow. I don't know. Or maybe it's just had a good time, but it was good. It was good. I miss Tanner. He's a cool soul. He's a very independent human, I would say. Working with him, it's funny because Eric and I have always called Tanner has these like, so like you work with guys in a shop, right? And there's some guys in the shop that, oh, by the way, you're listening to the Truckery podcast with John and Devin from OBS Solutions and John's Care Customs. If you work in an automotive shop that's like really big production, and maybe it's not big production, I shouldn't say that, but it's like really,
it's big production.
Yeah. And you have guys that are out there really grinding it out and, you know, working their ass off, and they're savages in the sense there's no, like, they're just motherfucking each other all day long. Like, it is, especially at our shop. I shouldn't say that because I've heard so many people say they either be customers that walk in that get a chance to come to the back of it, or it's sales guys, or even new employees that will come to preview the shop before they sign the papers. I've heard multiple go, I've never seen a shop function like Crabtree. Like, it's a totally different way of functioning.
In what way?
Well, we're not like a greasy, grimy little independent automotive shop, and we're not this pressed out, tight butthole dealership. Okay?
Right.
So it's just like in between.
Where it's like high and tights only.
Right.
And you only say yes, sir, yes, ma'am.
Right. Like,
and we walk a certain.
Or it's like greasy, grimy, hat backwards, you're people in jeans and shit everywhere. And it's just gross. You don't even want to walk in there. So our culture is, you know, everyone's in uniform. That's a big one for me.
Yep.
And then no hats, right? Everyone like, can't believe that one. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, you don't allow hats, right? I'm like, yeah, I don't allow my guys to wear hats. Front counter guys, parts, because we have our own parts guy, in-house parts guy, and then mechanics. They don't get to wear hats.
Is there hair length restrictions?
No, you don't care what hair you like. The reason I don't like hats is because if you ever notice, our hats get like, I won't wear a hat ever, really. I very rarely wear a hat, especially working. I'm wearing a hat today.
Every time you show up here, you're wearing a hat.
I will wear a hat on the weekends, but I will not wear one like working on things because they get greasy.
They get so greasy and
they
grimy.
Get nasty. So then what happens is you get in a car or a truck, it touches the headliner.
Yeah.
And then you have shit on the headliner. Or you actually, what really sucks is like the stereotypical mechanic is usually a picture of a guy with a greasy hat.
Yep.
And it has flames on it, or it looks really stupid, right?
Yeah.
And that's a generic, like, that's how people view an automotive mechanic.
Right.
So then what happens, I tell these guys, if you want top pay, like my guys, I want to pay them the top wage for a mechanic. If you want to be a top tier mechanic, you got to have the skill set, you got to be clean, you got to be punctual, you got to look the part, and clean cut if you want to get bigger dollars. So then they're act the part, get the part.
Totally.
So that's why we don't wear hats. But at the same point, because they just look nasty. They get disgusting.
What if you have a clean hat?
I don't care. It's going to get dirty. You're not going to wear it anyway.
Well, yeah, but after it gets dirty, you have a stockpile of clean ones.
Yeah, still not ain't happen.
Okay.
So
I mean, I'm not trying to convince
no.
you. I'm not working there.
Hey, trust me, it's not for everyone. But our culture is like you walk in and you hear from a distance, Ron, like first thing you hear, like I feel bad because these people sometimes we'll have parts people come in and the first thing you hear is Ron's like, well, I'm gonna put my nuts on your chin, Benny. Or it's like you hear it from it's a 13,000 square foot building, so you're hearing it echo all the way across, and then you hear like shots fired from the other way.
You can't wear a hat, but you can tell your fellow employee that you're going to put their nuts on their chin.
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
It's like
all right. I'm just trying to figure out
the owner. I get motherfucked all day long. I mean, it's constant. I am not on.
Yeah. No, you're not.
It should be on an even playing field.
100%.
And then I've had these softies that come in that work for us, and like maybe their feelings are a little bit on their sleeves, and so I always tell them, hey, if you can't take jokes, you just tell the crew, but you can't participate. You can't fire shots.
Yeah, don't dish it out if you can't take it.
Exactly. You be cool, they'll be cool. These are savages, like they've been here a while. This is their culture. They do amazing work. But in their world, if you're gonna fire shots, you're gonna get it back. It's everything from your mom, your girlfriend, your wife, everything is on the table.
Totally.
It's like how Brillo and I have built our culture. We build it off the South Park motto.
Mm-hmm.
And that is everyone's free game. Religion, race, you don't like politics, it's all on the table and you're gonna get side rotted.
Yeah, no matter where you are.
Exactly.
That's how it was like fire department. Ours was pranks. And it was like, for one, I wasn't ever a big fan of getting pranked.
Okay.
But it would still happen. But like you don't prank somebody else or do something to them if you're not willing to take it back.
Okay.
The problem is there's some guys who will like, it's always like, well, you did like
elevate. You start to get to the point where it gets gnarly.
Elevates.
What's the gnarliest prank you had done to you?
Oh man. I honestly, gosh dang it, I should remember this. I know who did it.
Oh.
Yeah. His nickname's Chi-Chi. Because he didn't pass his drug test first time.
As a firefighter?
Well, apparently just too diluted.
Oh, okay.
But you know why.
Right.
Yeah. I can't remember, but he did one where he took peanut butter and put it on a baking tray next to a guy's bed so that when the tones went off, he hopped out of bed onto a baking tray full of peanut butter.
That's pretty spicy. I mean, would you worry about the guy going over the bars and hurting himself?
Oh, yeah.
Hitting his head or something?
Oh, the amount of pranks that have happened. Then he like disconnected a guy's battery on his car and then put peanut butter or something in the door handle and then put it on the hood release. There's worse ones. One time, the same guy in this dude's locker, it was like his last day or something, and he super glued all of his stuff that was like sitting on the shelves.
Oh my god!
In position.
It was his last day. Where was he? Was he going to a different station?
Yeah, different department or something.
So it's like, hey, F you, I'm going to get you good.
Yeah, or sprinkle sugar
Okay.
in somebody's bed just enough to where you can't really notice it, but then you sleep and you get like warm and sweaty, and then it gets all sticky and nasty.
That's messed. I've never heard the sugar one. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. Flour bombs were big. The worst were like you get flour bombed and then somebody douches you with water.
Is that like standard? I mean, it's just a thing where you have a bunch of guys working together. You're gonna have shit like that. You think girls do that?
I don't know.
I don't think like you see a bunch of nurse. Like I'm trying to think of a trade where there's a bunch of women. I think nursing, right?
Nursing. I mean, honestly, that's pretty split.
Right? Yeah, it's in that way. What's
hairstylists?
I don't see them doing that in a hairstyle place. Like you walk in and like they're fucking flower bombing. No, it's not gonna happen.
Or a classic. This one's great. Is the sinks that have like the separate nozzle for the.
Oh, you tape it down so you turn the water on, it sprays you.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
That's a fantastic one. Mm-hmm. And the people that get the most mad are the ones that you just keep doing it to. I mean, like fuming mad, and it's so good.
Oh, I'm gonna say the classic one was I didn't come up with this idea. Someone took an old sun equipment that we had. It was like early days when I was maybe still in high school, and my dad had still had a sun machine and had a coil tester. And so they would hook the coil test machine up to the door handle to the shop door where the parts people would come in, and they'd wait for the parts people to come in and light it up. So when they grabbed the door handle, That coil tester would just fucking just blast.
Give him a little zap.
Oh, it's yeah. So I mean, shenanigans are good. Hey, speaking of this, why don't we have our listeners, all 4 or 5 of them, send in what like pranks they've ever heard, and let's talk about that. Like, we like to hear your guys' pranks. Like, want some real original ones? I did have one of our senior techs. Shouldn't say this, but I'm gonna. One of our senior techs took and put a dildo on a guy's shifter on his truck because he left his vehicle at our shop because he was going on a vacation, but he left the car there. So one of our senior techs, or maybe a shop foreman, maybe drilled it out, put it on there. The guy came home early or late at night off of his flight and found this thing, and here's a shift. Yeah. Anyway, but
all of that stuff is fun.
It is. It's like good, clean fun, right? I mean, something like that.
Yeah. I mean, there's always something good, like, dipping somebody's hand in warm water.
See, that's the
sleeping.
Difference. That's like a next level. Like, if you're working at a fire department,
because
you're sleeping. You
live together in a dorm.
But did you ever have like that one butthole that was just a total tight butthole guy that was sucked ass to deal with and it was no fun?
Well,
I'm sure that happened all the time, right?
You grind them down.
Did they ever reform and like turn into a decent human to be hang out with?
Well, they'd either do that or they'd get
transferred.
I don't know. Or you just like, if they were really not into it, you'd kind of know. Or
just leave them alone.
You just like, all right, this guy's just not any fun.
Right, and you're not gonna like associate. I mean, just like, hey, work with them, but like, it's not gonna be like, hey, let's hang out and bullshit or whatever.
Oh yeah, okay. We had one. Yeah, that just reminded me. I forget how they convinced him to, but they took this one guy's bed and they flipped his box spring with his mattress.
Okay.
And so the box spring was on top and remade the bed and then somehow convinced him to like dive onto the bed.
Oh my gosh.
It was box spring. I don't know.
Just
you
shit,
can go
simple
on
shit like that.
Yeah. I mean, you saran wrap over the top of the toilet.
Right. That's a classic one.
That's a classic.
Ours is what you have to really dodge from day to day is a clear piece of tape across the bathroom door frame. So someone goes in the bathroom, usually it's Benny, will come behind you while you're in the bathroom and put tape right at eye level, which sucks balls because you get it across your eyes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a classic one.
Those are great.
Those are like pretty good one. Yeah, that's it's, you know what? Send us your shenanigans. We'd like to hear them, good and bad.
Yeah, a good shenanigan. And like in the shop, ours are minor now.
Right.
But like there's a lot of times where, we run a pretty skeleton crew. So if we all have like our tasks lined out for the day, it's not uncommon for a lot of people to be wearing noise canceling headphones, earbuds, like you're just working. And I'll have to go talk to Grant about something and he won't see me. And then I'll just like stand like fairly close and then he'll turn around and he just like lose, it's scaring each other. He's done the same thing to me.
Grant's a good human to deal with.
Yeah. That's really the most of the pranks around here, I guess.
Well, it's pretty low key around here. It's not like a rat race and it's not high production in the sense of like tons. Well, it's high production, get shit out, but it's not like you have like cars and trucks coming and going which has got to be nice. That's got to be somewhat like relaxing in a way.
It is, but like we need to hire another person, honestly.
Hear that? So John's looking. So if you guys have like a heartbeat, maybe like, I don't know, 4.5, 5.5 toes and fingers.
Yeah, we need another welder, but because right now, like every day is full crank.
Right.
Like,
that's a good thing though.
It's great. It's really great.
But it makes doing shenanigans a little tough at times.
You're just not even interested in them because it's like
you're just trying to survive.
My
you're
list
trying to get
is
through to 5
long.
o'clock, 6 o'clock and be done.
Well, you don't even look at the clock. You're like all of a sudden like, oh gosh, today's done. Tomorrow's Wednesday. It means we have Thursday left, and then we're done. It's like,
All right, so what are we going to talk about today on our lovely little podcast?
I don't know.
Well, we talked about, let me go back to our show notes. Doodly-doo. Uh-oh, hold on.
That just reminded me of something.
What's that?
A video.
Did you turn the video on? Are you guys like actually seeing this shit show?
Oh, yeah, no, it's recording.
Okay, I don't know. Oh, you know what we gotta do? We've like really been like skeleton on the marketplace. We should probably hit that up real quick though. John and I went for lunch, and we noticed that. You ever notice how much shit your wife or girlfriend's center console has?
One. Yeah,
I don't think we can build like. Can we build a big enough center console for all the crap that I'm gonna say our wives or girlfriends keep in the center console.
Yeah, I mean, center console, door
Glove box,
cards,
glove box.
glove box. Glove box doesn't get used too much in mine because I
Oh.
think my wife's too short to be able to
Reach over. Okay.
and grab that. But the door
The
and
handles
yeah,
area. Yeah. I always think
driver's or passenger seat up front,
Yeah.
always have to move shit out of that seat to be able to get in.
Got it. You know, Justin and I always talk about, Brillo and I have been working together for so long. We've got this term like, oh, check the owner's manual. Oh, no. Sorry. They just take that and throw it away and put tampons in his place.
Oh, yeah.
That's like owner's manual. No. Get rid of that thing. Like, just put some tampons there and some napkins. Always napkins.
I'm not going to lie. I appreciate like napkins or tissues
Okay.
occasionally because it's like I don't keep anything in my vehicle that's not necessary, I would say, or even I don't have much in it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, like,
And you get a runny nose or something, or you get something on your hand.
your
and
sleeves
like,
for, bud.
Yeah, I know.
You're
But
more
if-
sophisticated.
Sometimes though, you have a runny nose that like you don't want that on your sleeve. It's like
Okay. So besides napkins, what else is like, okay. So
there's usually enough stuff to do a full manicure in the glove box.
right. Like, it's
Like the sanding things,
I feel like it's a woman's tactical go bag. Like,
Yeah.
what's in your go bag? Well, I got my sanding thing, my nail thing, my fucking like you said, full manicure. Don't forget like tanning little glasses.
Oh, yes.
Those are always in there.
Those are
That's
in
one.
there.
A fragrance thing, something to ruin that new car smell.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Get rid of that new car smell, and let's put like a potpourri type of shit in there.
How many things of lip gloss or chapstick or
Right.
hydration,
Yep. 100%.
skin hydration stuff?
Something. Yeah.
At least 3 pairs of sunglasses.
I was gonna say a sunglass thing, but for us in the valley, sun doesn't come out very often,
Yeah.
so we're okay on that one. I would say an umbrella.
Yeah.
Like you got an umbrella stuffed on the seat. It's like it's impressive. I don't think there's a vehicle that has enough storage for a woman, to be honest. I'm trying to think. Oh, I
mean,
know.
it's one
a
of
Ford
those-
Expedition, like you have, like just the back seat, just
Oh,
throw
the
it in back.
Excursion?
Excursion. I mean,
Yeah.
just throw it in the back. 100%.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those, if you build it, they will come. It's like if you make the storage space, they will fill it.
That's a
It's for sure there.
That's a good one. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like you're looking at new vehicles with your wife or a used vehicle. Like this storage isn't enough. There's not enough in the center console. I'm like, are you fucking serious?
Yeah,
like
what?
you could put a 6-pack in there. Like what else do you need? Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
like, I need a place for an extra mag. I need a place for maybe some gum.
Yep.
I'm good to go.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd say your lug nut key because like if you're running,
Yeah,
different,
that
like,
goes in the glove box.
But you know what? Usually that's the first thing that they throw out. I don't know how many times like a car would come in and we're like the guys are like gonna go pull the wheels off and check brakes and stuff. Like, hey, where's the lug nut key? Or like they just say, oh, I didn't think you need that. I never use it, so I threw it away.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't need that.
Right. Or hey, we're gonna double check the owner's manual because this question there's just to make sure. And it's like, where's the owner's manual? Oh, I got rid of that. Didn't use it.
I can't believe somebody would do that. Like I keep all that stuff extra safe for resale. Even.
Exactly.
You know, it's like I want to buy a car
Right.
that comes with like every bit of documentation that this thing came with from the dealership.
Window sticker, the service manual, the owner's manual.
Yes.
The stupid little thing about the tires.
I want the salesman's card
Yes.
in there.
Right.
You know,
Because you're like hoping like 40 years down the road.
maybe Brian still works there and he remembers this guy.
But I would just think like somewhere down the road, 40 years, that someone's going to get this vehicle and go, look at this. This owner kept this thing so pristine.
Yes.
They kept the owner's manual and all the stuff. How cool is that?
I think it's fantastic.
There's nothing cooler than finding an OBS Ford and like go, look, all the owner's manual shit's still in here.
Yeah. Oh, it's the best. And honestly, on the OBS Fords, it's quite useful for like
Sure.
fuse box diagrams.
Yeah, that's true.
Like honestly, I guess that's the main thing I use it for.
Yeah,
is-
because Mitchell, if you go to Mitchell and you look up fuse box identification, it's gotten so shitty, it's ridiculous.
it's crazy.
It's funny though when you do buy a truck or find a truck and it has all that shit. The truck can be like totally thrashed, but like it's like this little beacon of light from God that goes, oh
Yeah.
and you find it like, oh my god, dude, look at this. It's like the tires that he put on it. It's like, look at all this shit right here. It shows every oil change he's ever done. He wrote it down in the back of the book.
Yes.
The geeky shit, like the rest of the truck's falling apart and rusted out. You're like, oh, this is well worth buying this truck.
At least it was maintained.
That's all I care about.
And then you see like the last 50,000 miles it hasn't been touched. And you're like, oh, somebody else has
Owned it, but at least I kept the owner's manual in there.
Yeah.
And didn't replace it with tampons.
Oh, exactly.
That 33K truck we bought,
Yeah.
no owner's manual or documentation.
What?
So lame. I was so bummed.
I don't even understand.
I don't either.
How does that get lost in only 33,000 miles?
I don't know. I opened up the glove box. The glove box was empty except for the insurance card. I was so bummed.
What about back to like women's cars, shoes? How often do you find multiple pairs of shoes in the
I don't
car?
get that. Never.
Or multiple sweatshirts or jackets?
I do gotta tell you, my wife has multiple jackets she never wears, but I never find them in the car.
Okay.
Yeah, she has like a fucking closet full of jackets she never wears.
Yeah. Oh,
I don't get that.
I've got
Yeah. What the fuck's with that?
a full closet of clothes.
It's a
that I only ever see the same boring
Thank you.
outfits
Thank
that
you.
are usually far oversized. She's like, whatever, I'm just working or I'm at the house. I'm like, well, that's two and the same. So
I'm always like,
why is your closet like 100% full?
okay, so I'm wearing one of your hoodies, right?
Yeah.
You're lucky I'm fucking wearing that shit because the fucking Lisa like absconded with my Carrot Customs hoodie, and I'm like, that's mine. Like, you have a fucking closet full of this stuff, like all kinds of. Well, this one fits me the best, or I like this one the best, or I'm like, I mean, we live out in the Cone, which is Trailer Park Central, but like you could look a little classier. Like, no, that's the one I like. It fits me the best. I like it. I'm like, you have a whole closet full of these different coats.
Yep. Yeah, I see a lot of the same things.
You ever try to pick out a wheel and tire for your wife's vehicle? Good luck with that one.
Just did.
Oh, well, you've gotten. Was it easy or was it difficult?
No, not easy. But luckily, I kind of was annoying enough where she's like, fuck it. I don't care. Just get whatever.
Yes.
It'll be fine. I actually just don't give a shit.
That's how,
like,
they all
okay,
go that way.
Perfect.
Yeah. And they always think that a color is going to look with another color. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, like, they don't take our, like, I mean, not that I know what I'm doing, but I think a lot of our truck stuff we've done comes out pretty good. Oscar and I might have an eye for what looks good. You might want to listen. Nope. No, this is what I want. I'm
totally.
Like, it's not going to look good. No, that's what I'm going with. Fine.
Yeah. And I'm okay with kind of bullying like that stuff, for my way to go, because I do not 100% do not get to pick what colors rooms are painted in the house.
Not one say.
What the flooring is.
Not one say. Really?
No, I mean, I get a little bit.
Not a lot of it, though.
But usually it's like, if I'm like, ooh, I like that. She's like, nope, we're not painting that wall.
Just a hard no.
Hard no. But we do give each other the, like with remodel stuff.
Okay.
We give each other full veto. Like, if you feel that strongly about it, that you hate it that much,
okay,
then you can veto it.
Wow. Okay. Okay, listeners, here's one for you. We ask you guys questions. Give us the answers. What's the hardest thing it is to deal with your wife when it comes to everything from buying wheels and tires for a vehicle, maybe a lift kit or something like that, to colors for a room, cabinetry, flooring? Let us know what your opinion is. We love to hear your stories as well, so we're on the same page of how tough it is at times. I mean, really, I think we're all on the same street. Oh, and what's in the center console of your wife's vehicle? Let us know on that one, too. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
We should have done a more accurate inventory of what was in the center console of hers when we took it to lunch.
What frustrates me with Lisa is, like, she has a little garbage bag.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Our Crabtree goodie bags. Every time you bring a vehicle in, you get a goodie bag.
Okay.
We have trash bags in there and
like
candy.
A goodie bag?
Yeah, we send them out in all the vehicles.
Nice.
Every time. And one's our trash bag, and she has a trash bag in there. It's always fucking jammed full. Never emptied. Always seems full. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And with kids, they always leave their stuff in the door handles, like extra change, candy, like that kind of shit in the door. So I go to clean the car out, and you go to grab it, and you can't really grab the door handle because there's shit in there.
Do you allow food in the vehicle?
I had a hardcore rule, but that went out the door a long time. Now, if I'm driving, it's in one of the OBS Fords. That ain't happening.
Water.
I could deal with water. I mean, my kids are old enough now; they're responsible. But when they're little, it was rough.
Like, just no food.
Yeah, and I think it comes from like
can you really not go on a full car ride without like eating in the vehicle?
I mean, like an 8-hour trip. No, dude, they're eating in there. It sucks. I hate the smell of like food. Like when someone opens up jerky. What is it like? Jerky tastes great.
I did that to you in your side by side. Remember when we went to the store It is. It tastes great.
It tastes great, but it smells like shit in the vehicle.
It smells so bad.
You know what it is? It's confined spaces. If it was like here and you open up jerky, you're like, yeah, not a big deal. But it's a confined space. I feel like if you want to torture someone, like if you really want to torture someone, you just like put them in a confined space, open up a bag of jerky they can't eat.
Oh, that reminds me of a story.
I love stories.
When we were talking about pranks at the fire department,
Yeah.
there's one guy that we pranked a lot because he was
A douche?
No,
Oh.
no, he's a really nice guy,
Oh,
but
good. Dude's a nice guy.
one of the most gullible people
Okay.
I've ever met. And at the time, I was in like my mid-20s, and he was like
Which is yesterday.
mid-40s,
Okay.
early 40s. Super fun dude, but we pushed him a lot. And one time, apparently, he took a piece of raw fish
Okay.
and put it in like one of those peanut jar containers
Okay.
and opened the back door of my truck and slid it under the seat where you can't find it and left it. And it took a little while before that came to fruition. But
That's
man,
fucked up. That's
it
messed
was.
up right there.
Well,
That's messed up.
we had
I feel like you don't.
I earned that one. I will say this. I earned that one.
That's bad.
It was bad. It didn't like he did it to where like it wouldn't get on. It didn't
Okay.
hurt anything. Took it out. Smell went away right away.
I feel like the smell would permeate the foam in the seats.
No, it
Really?
honestly did not.
Okay.
But it was bad.
I have a rule when it comes to pranks: never f with another man's vehicle.
I have the same rule.
That's a standard. Like I think Pulp Fiction depicted that the best.
Yep.
Don't mess with another man's vehicle.
I would get asked to do that often
No.
at work because I knew how to like
Right.
disable somebody's vehicle in a sly way. And I'm like, no, because I don't want anyone ever touching mine. Period.
I have a good one, which is really easy if you own a non-brick nose OBS. Is I've always wanted to, when Oscar's like being spicy, I've always just wanted to, because I know where he keeps his keys. I've always wanted to like pull the lock cylinder out of his truck and then just put it like just leave it out, but give him his keys back. So he goes out there and goes put his key in the ignition. Because lock cylinders, if you don't know, come out very easy on our OBS Fords.
Yeah.
They're very simple to pull out if you have the key. So it's a great prank. Is a lock cylinder removal, which is pretty good time. So,
But at the same time, you just
don't-
open that door.
you open that door to
And
mess
it's
with
hard
another
to
man's
close that
vehicle.
door.
Don't do that.
No.
I mean, I watch those guys mess with each other on their vehicles at the shop, and I'm always like, don't go down that road. I do not want to be privy to that world.
Yeah.
So that being said, we the center console though, that's a hot button topic. It seems like that. There's something about it can never be big enough to hold as much junk. I feel like you could build a vehicle for women and it'd just be 90% center console and the rest be a vehicle, right?
Yeah.
This vehicle barely has power. It's got like no frills and it's ugly as hell. But the center console, man, it's got like 5 feet long by 3 feet wide. It would sell like hotcakes.
It's got a conveyor belt in there so you can just like stick as much shit as you want. And it's just rolling.
I feel like if we were to build that, dude, it'd be awesome. We could make so much money.
Elon's got to get to work on this. I mean, it would, because half of it they're never going to touch again.
It'd be funny.
You just put it back in the, you know.
I figure like they'll be at a board meeting, like they're like, look at projections, everyone. The women are like going off the shit, they're pointing to shit.
Oh man,
how much room do you have for tampons? I'm sure I made this tampon holder. Great, sell. It's gonna sell.
I wonder though, because neither one of our wives are like into cars, right? You know, like they like them, but they're not like
okay, I got
true enthusiasts. Like girls that like maybe would listen to this podcast or like have a you know, like they really like take pride in their vehicle. Do you think that they have like that their rigs are the same way?
I don't know. I've never known. I really don't know a lot of women that are into their vehicles. I guess
I haven't either.
I do know Lisa is a closet redneck, 100% white trash redneck when it comes to vehicles. She likes shit lifted, not lowered. She's all into big lifted monster trucks, boggers, welds. Like she likes like the blue truck. That's her truck. She's like, I got out of her that it doesn't have big enough tires. She's like, I think it needs 40s. It needs like,
oh really?
Yeah. She'll show me. She was like, well, I go, what do you think? Yo, here you go. She's like, no, it needs 40s. Like it's not like I can see it in her. She's like, I go, what? She goes, well, you know, cause he's a bigger tire. And I'm like, so I think like she's like, but yeah, it's not her go-to. Like, I don't know a lot of women that are like, look at my truck or my hot rod, or I don't know that. I don't know that human, I guess.
I
So
don't know them, but like I see them on Instagram.
maybe their center console isn't as bad.
Yes.
Maybe they don't have it. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, maybe there's some listeners that have wives or girlfriends that are into their vehicles a lot and they keep it spick and span and they don't like. I mean, I'm not saying mine doesn't, but like the center console is jam packed full of shit.
I've been in other dudes' vehicles
They're disgusting.
that like are not into cars. You know, it's just
Right.
it's merely a point A to point B.
Yeah.
You're like, geez, man, why do you have so much just random shit in here?
I've gotten to a lot of vehicles doing this for so long over the years of just general automotive, and some are so bad I don't even want to. I don't want to go back to that place in my brain. There's some shit that's like fucked up. Like I was like, I'm sure it's the. I feel like it's the equivalent of you finding a dead body or something like and do the fire shit. I like lose my shit when you get in a vehicle and it's sticky and the steering wheel is sticky and there's crap everywhere.
Yeah.
And like, you can't even get to the gas pedal because there's junk on the floor and it smells weird. And you're like, what is that? I know what that smell is, but I don't want to know what that smell is. And then you're like, oh, I got to do airbag module stuff. I have to get out of the seat and you find like a half eaten hamburger and a fries down there. And it's really like scary that fast food that you find is still like not moldy. It's like, that's messed up, right? Like I remember Justin and I would like work on these cars over the years and we're doing airbag stuff or whatever it is. And you have to get out of the seat. You have to tear the seat apart and you find shit and you're like, pretty impressive. This McDonald's fry still looks as good as it fucking did when it came out of the oven or off the grease fry or whatever it is. Like it's actually kind of scary, right?
Yeah. It doesn't give you the most confidence, which is ironic, right? You know, you think about like rationally, like, wow, this food just doesn't go bad. That's incredible.
Amazing. The science behind it must be
like it's funny that we're like, it doesn't go bad. It must be terrible.
What's that doing in your stomach?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It's not good.
Just like you, stories for days about the shit we find in cars. Cause people live out of their cars. Not like, well, there are people who live out of their cars, but like people spend more time in their cars depending on their work habits and driving habits than they do at home at times.
Totally.
So you're like,
you should see those cars in car wrecks.
Oh,
all of that shit goes everywhere.
You know that my dad started. So we worked with the OSP with state police forever, right?
Right.
We worked on their vehicles, and then that transferred over for us to do the crash inspections on fatals.
Oh, you guys did that?
Yes, for a lot of years. My dad would actually do it as a courtesy to the state police.
Nice.
I was like, hey, I'll do crash inspections because they need to have that documentation. Well, then I don't know what happened, but we got more of them. And then Justin and I got old enough that we were starting to do them for my dad. And so then Brillo and I would do these crash inspections. We trade off and on because they're terrible, right? And before then, we'd have to do them like, it wasn't on location, but when a crash happened, they would tow it to the nearby impound, wherever that was. They wouldn't tow them to ODOT facilities, right? That'd be too easy. They tow them to like the nearest wrecking yard of whatever place it was. So
yeah,
we'd have to do them out in the gravel. So we'd have to jack up these vehicles on the gravel, put stand underneath them, like pull them apart, see if the vehicle was liable for this collision, which good luck finding that shit. When a vehicle's on a head-on, a fatality, shit happens, right?
Yeah.
But the stuff that you find in these cars, like, and where it went from like the trunk area to all the way to the front is impressive to me.
Very.
Right?
Oh yeah.
It is gnarly.
It's amazing.
To see a vehicle wrecked is every time I think of like traveling at high rate of speed, and I'm always like, I think I'm gonna slow down because I remember looking at this crash inspection where there was nothing left of the driver's floorboard where his feet would be.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always like, because that's
where it happens.
That's where it happens. And you always, how many jaws of life moments did you have?
Oh, I
bet.
Couldn't tell you.
Right.
And I couldn't. And one of the most common is mangled lower legs.
Fuck, dude. And people are still alive, right? So they're like screaming and dude, just in pain.
Yeah, you get them, you pump them full of pain meds as soon as you can.
I bet. Just to get them like calmed down so they're not hurting each other or hurting themselves more.
That and forearms.
Forearms. Oh,
steering wheel.
Breaking here?
Yep.
Okay. Like,
it's
pretty common.
Oh, yeah. I mean, on a big wreck.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're, a single passenger, or your driver,
Yeah.
it's not uncommon for there to be a lot of intrusion in the driver area.
You ever been in a wreck?
I have. Well, I've been in one. This is a great.
What's that? Go ahead.
You want to hear it?
Oh, I do. I want to hear this. Like, I
So-
picture hood rat shit.
I had never been in a wreck in my life.
Okay.
Been pulled over 50 times.
50 times.
Oh yeah,
For
speeding.
shocker.
Yeah, you name it. A lot
Okay.
of speeding.
Got it.
I've only had a couple tickets, but so Austin, the guy who I built the fire truck for, he had, when the Tesla Model 3 came out, he had put a deposit down and he got one. And he came over to the house to pick up the fire truck and take it to the mountain to go live at the mountain for a couple months. And he's like, I was thinking about it and I don't need my car. So do you want to drive it for, while I'm gone? Like, yeah, why not?
Why not?
Sounds great. So I'm driving it. It's great. They're fast. They're fun. It was.
Did you wreck his Tesla?
Oh, let me.
Did you really?
Let me get to it.
Oh my gosh.
So I go downtown for a meeting, a lunch meeting, and finish that. And I'm coming out of downtown and I'm getting back on the highway, or the freeway essentially, to go south back to my house. And it's one of those those intersections where you come up and you have to wait for an opening.
Okay.
There's no on-ramp, there's no nothing. It's like you have to just pull out and go. So, car in front there, I'm second car back, and I'm watching the traffic, and I know I'm in a Tesla. Like, I can pull out lickety split. And I see the gap, and I see the car in front of me start to pull out, like get on it, pulling out. And I'm looking, I'm like, yep, I can go. So I start to go. Well, car in the fast lane, right at the same time as the car that was pulling out, moves over into the slow lane. Car that was pulling out nails the brakes, and I'm on his tail looking and tap him in the back. So I crunched the front bumper, fender, and headlight. That's the worst wreck.
That's the worst. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was not a big car accident.
I was looking for this fiery ball of carnage
But I did wreck his Tesla that he was getting ready to sell, and was actually not up for sale because he had backed it into somebody else's car and the trunk had a dent in it.
Sounds like this Tesla might have some bad juju.
It got wrecked again by him.
Oh.
And then he sold it to his brother, who I think wrecked it again.
Oh.
It was he's like, that car just is cursed. It has to go away. But that was the worst feeling. I'm like, I have never, this is one of the nicest cars I've driven. It's not even mine. I wrecked it and I had to call him and tell him.
That'd be a terrible feeling.
Oh, I felt so bad.
Car wrecks are
absolutely horrible.
If you can walk away from a car wreck, then the liability part is just small potatoes.
Yes.
100%. That's just.
Yeah. This was a fender bender.
Not a big deal.
I don't think I've never been driving in a car wreck. I don't know if I've been a passenger in a big.
Yeah.
I don't think I have.
All right. Well.
What about you?
A pretty gnarly one, but I pulled out in front of a little lady and she T-boned the shit out of me. Yeah, it was pretty fast. She's doing about 40 or 50 miles an hour.
In the driver door?
No, she got it. Yeah, I was driving my dad's little work truck, a little Datsun. It was his little work truck, and I was there was 3 of us wide in this single cab, and we were skipping school. I can't remember, something like that. And I was in his little Datsun pickup that he used for runaround part stuff. And I pulled out, didn't see this lady. She T-boned me. She T-boned me hard, dude. She hit me right in the axle of this Datsun, right? And she was driving a Ford Taurus or some pile of shit. Annihilated the front of her car, and we spun around, and for some reason we kind of ended up looking at each other. And she looks over at me, and viewer discretion advised. She looks at me, she goes, "Young man, what are you doing?" And I my bell was so rang because you hit your head, right?
Yeah.
The first thing that came to me, this is bad. I still regret this day. I looked at her and go, "Shut the fuck up, bitch!" I just it was bad, dude.
Gosh.
It was so bad. It was so bad. Lisa, don't let the boys listen to this podcast. I was so pissed. It was my fault, but I couldn't see her as a blind. Anyway, it's a whole ball of wax, but she smacked me
That's
something good,
the
dude.
first thing you said.
First thing I said, dude, I felt so bad. Then I, like, for weeks later, I go grocery shop with my mom, and I'd look around. I'd look at every gray-haired lady thinking it was her, and I'm like, oh, I gotta go apologize.
Did you talk to her at all after that?
No, it was, yeah. And then the cops showed up and like, well, where's the seatbelt for the, like, okay, this is another good one. So the cops show up and like, well, there's 3 of you, right? I said, yeah, there's 3 of us, and they didn't put 2 and 2 together. We were skipping school, and he goes, well, there's only 2 seatbelts. And I'm like, I go, I don't know what it was. It was quick goat thinking. And I'm like, oh, my 2 buddies were sharing a seatbelt. And the cop looks at me and goes, good thinking.
Which is ironic because as long as all the seatbelts are used in Oregon, you can have other people in there.
Oh, okay. That's the rule?
Yeah, at least it used to be like if all the seatbelts in the cab were used, you
Right.
could have people riding in the bed.
Oh, I didn't know that. No. Anyway, so that's my anyway, but no, moving on. We scrolled hardcore.
I don't even know where we're at.
I don't
Center
know
consoles, man.
Yeah, center consoles. That's a spicy one for women, I tell you. We gotta watch out for that.
It is. What about tools? Do you travel with tools?
Oh, depends on the vehicle. Super Duty has tools in it
Yeah.
because I use it for.
Because if that 6.7 breaks down,
You're fucked. No, I always because I use the Super Duty. I used to use it for like off road camping.
Oh yeah.
So I was like
camper.
Yeah, camping shit, right? Like
You
dirt
gotta
bikes
have
and all
tools.
that stuff. And I just now I use like Super Duty does a lot of like our gooseneck stuff and hauling trucks from point A to point B.
Yeah.
So we're like picking up trucks or like delivering them to paint and body. So I always like keep like the truck box always has shit in it. And I always keep Pro Eagle jacks
Yeah.
in that, the Bronco and Cowboy.
Nice.
I don't know why Cowboy. I think it's useless in that pile of shit, but
It
anyway.
doesn't. I mean,
Yeah, it
just doesn't get driven.
actually I've been driving it more. You'd be surprised. I've been actually driving it somewhat. So
Yeah. Is that one for sale?
I guess everything's for sale except the blue truck and Princess truck. I don't think I can sell the Bronco. By the way, for you guys that own F-Series trucks and don't own a Bronco, buy a Bronco.
I want one.
The Bronco is like, Greg was always telling me, like, he always give me shit for not owning a Bronco and how cool they are. I'm like, yeah, whatever. But I found like if I was gonna had to sell everything, I'd almost want to keep the Bronco out of the whole arsenal.
Really?
Yes, they are
Why?
like,
What's the reason?
because it's like one of the funnest rigs to drive in the sense of like it's compact. You can take it anywhere. You can get 4 people in it. I mean, you can get 4 people in the crew cab, but it's got space in the back like an SUV.
Yeah.
It's actually like, and I don't have like the pressed out like Greg's kit on it, but it's freaking awesome with what it has on it for suspension.
Yeah.
And it kind of is like, it's kind of goes anywhere. It's not big and long. It's not a bitch to park. You can take it downtown and rip it around there and park it and go up in the woods. It's not so long that you can't go on logging roads and get turned, I have to turn around and be a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always tell people like the Bronco is probably like, and it's not like it's got character to it here and there in the fenders, and it's got, it's not perfect by any means, but it's a fun rig to have. Oscar's always like, I think Oscar had 2 Broncos, rolled one of them going up snowboarding. He's always like, I wish I had my Bronco out of all my rigs.
Really?
Yeah, he's always said that. Like a Bronco is like kind of cool to have.
Wasn't he willing to trade you?
Yes, he wanted to trade me my copper Bronco for his crew cab short.
That's not a bad deal.
No, we still joke about it. Like we always like when I pull it in, he's like, all right, we're gonna do title for title, or his crew cab short is pretty nice.
It's really nice.
Yeah. But then I got a crew cab short.
So now
So I'm like, piss on
sorry,
you,
Oscar.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want a Bronco. I saw a video of Blake Wilkie's,
That thing's
the
cool.
Blood Shark.
Yeah.
With the LS supercharged.
I think that'd be the cool thing to do as an LS in that platform. I know all
That's
the
what I would
hardcore Ford people are gonna lose their mind, but like it fits pretty good in there.
I think I'd have to get an LS out of like a CTSV.
Okay, you're gonna go next level, are you? Okay.
Yeah.
I've
Probably 4L80.
I've often liked I've seen Broncos with 460s in them. I've always liked that. I always thought that'd be kind of cool. Greg actually has one on one of his pictures of his suspension kit with a 460 in it.
Okay.
So I was like,
Do they bolt? They bolt right in, right?
I think you change the motor mounts.
I mean, do the 351 and 302 mounts, are they on the backside of the engine cross member? Like the 460s?
Yeah, I think they are. Yeah. I think they're in the same spot, give or take.
So 460, in theory, should just bolt right in.
You know what? That's a good question.
I bet you
I
they
don't know the
do.
100% on that one, but maybe I.
Because all the gasser like components are basically the same.
So what's funny is the gasser radiators all the same.
Yeah.
302, 351, even the straight 6, 460s, all the same core support, all the same radiator.
Intakes all in the same spot.
Yep. And then what else? Like, so all your HVAC stuff's still in the same spot.
Yeah.
I think it would work. I think it just bolt right. I mean, you probably have used some modifications. I think the only thing, I don't know the distance of bell housing versus like crossmember. You have to figure that.
But the holes are probably there.
Right. And it was an E4OD behind 460. So an E4OD is going to go behind it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I always thought a 460 in a Bronco would be kind of cool. A lot more weight, though.
I mean, they're not that bad, really.
Ron and I were looking at Godzilla weight versus like 302, 351, and it's pretty impressive how light that engine is.
Yeah. I'm excited to mess with one of those, and it's coming.
Okay, so let's do, you know what we haven't done? I talked about this, Marketplace.
Yes.
Let's hit up the Marketplace real quick. Because we didn't
Location.
I don't know. I picked the last location. What do you want to do?
You did.
I did Idaho.
Let's do Phoenix.
Oh, okay. I like that. We're gonna find a bunch of bleached out vehicles.
I don't even know. How do you spell Phoenix?
That's right. Pahonix.
Isn't that right? But that's wrong.
That's downtown Phoenix, Arizona. Phoe.
Yeah, there we go. I thought I was spelling it right. I'm like, why is it popping up?
It's been a rough couple of days, you guys. I don't know about you. Oh, we're still looking at Chevrolets.
That's from a while ago. This is just a different tab.
You know what? The 454 SS stuff was great to talk about.
I want one.
We want one of everything.
I do.
Right?
Yeah, you'll know things are going well if I've got like one of everything. Whoa! That crew cab short bed, $8,000.
Yeah.
In Peoria, Arizona.
Okay, what we're looking at here, people, is crew short, which I've got a fondness for that. So does John. He has a couple of them. And what's cool about crew shorts, if you don't know this information, is they only made them for 2 years. So it's F250 crew short, of course. And
$8,000.
And it's, what is that? I'm colorblind, so I'm going to give it a whirl. Is that a dark blue?
It's blue. Yeah.
Oh, not dark blue, just blue.
It's the same blue as the crew cab short bed you sold.
That was a cool truck.
Yeah.
That was a cool truck. So right here it says, I will not respond to, is this available? Bought the truck with great intention, but truth be told, I absolutely no need for a diesel. 4x4, 7.3 power stroke, runs and drives, comes with a Reman E4OD, not currently installed. Current OD light flashing. Now that's a concern. And has a rough shift. Oh. Could use tires soon. Open to trades as well. Will post pictures and interior and more exterior shots when it's daylight. Pros: power door locks, cruise control work, side mirrors. I don't know why it says power side mirrors. Crew cab short bed. That's a pro. Cons: back window don't curly roll down. That must be the back windows or up. Power at switches. Rear main oil leak. Common. Couple drops here and there, small amounts of rust on fenders and bed, transmission, rough shift through 1 and 2. Well, if I'm not mistaken, when your overdrive light's flashing, that sends it into, I wouldn't say it's a limp mode, but it
protection mode.
Well, it ramps the pressures up. That's why it harsh shifts. So
what would be causing that overdrive light?
Dude, like multiple things. I didn't want to speculate on that without scanning and see what the code is, but oh gosh. Oh shit, that's not a little rust. That's weird in Arizona, right?
Yeah. Okay. Interior, not bad. Sagging headliner.
Dash has a crack in it. So
what is with all the spots on the carpet?
That's from either darts,
yeah,
from heaters, or speed sticks, as Kenny calls it. I think it is. Look at the rust. So we're looking at the body here. The back of the driver's corner of the box has rust on the lower rocker or on the lower fender area. You have rust on the wheel well area around the trim.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's crusty.
The hood is bent.
It's been blown open past the hinges.
Or someone. Is there a thing people like why would you want to put like different hinges on the hood? Well, because those hinges bind, and then someone goes to close the hood, and it creases the hood.
Yeah.
$254K on this dark blue or blue Crew short F-250 with the front like so. I love the cattle guard front bumper thing. That is
That
probably
bolts onto the factory bumper.
right, like super awesome for nothing for pushing air, right? Structurally,
It's for looks. I
yeah.
mean, it would
The
the
center would
guards
probably
around the headlights would help to keep brush off of them.
no the guards around the headlights. What happens? They fold back and smack the paint.
Yeah, but if you're like just like manzanita brush or something,
Okay,
like
okay.
it would help.
How about the Nerf bar? So we got here is we got the great. It's got those cheesy DZ Nerf bars, which
Cheesy deezy.
yeah, exactly. We got a big exhaust tip on it. Not massive, but you know, this truck sucks.
I thought it was a good deal.
No, it's fine. Let's get out of here.
Sorry, Tucker.
Sorry, Tucker. What about that right there for $25,000? 96
This one?
F350 long bed. It has a stance that looks pretty good. It's on a. Is that a Method? I think it's a Method wheel.
A Method.
It looks good. Oh, but it's looking. We should probably steer rear. The bumper's got some autism going on. It's saggy as hell, and like it's got a canopy with a CVT on it.
It's a 96 F350 long bed for 25 grand in Phoenix.
238K on it for that price. 7.3 Power Stroke, 96 4x4 with custom camper setup. It has more than I can list. Please ask. Okay, camper. Queen memory foam bed. You know what? That just sold me on it. The memory foam bed. I'm all in. 200-watt solar. What is that? 200 amp Life Pro 4 batteries. 16-gallon water tank. 5 gallon per hour or per minute water pump. 20-pound propane tank. Camper chef oven, stovetop combo sink, blah 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 blah. This sounds like something you would sell on in Bend.
Yeah,
this sounds like something that would really like.
Yeah.
This thing you could go CVT the shit out of it. Truck 238K, new transmission, new fuel bowl, new fuel pump, new water pump, turbocharger, new vehicle vehicle speed map, camshaft position, and exhaust back pressure sensors. Wow, it's all one sensor.
Yeah.
Okay, it's all one sensor. We are 37 Toyos. Wow, there's a lot of shit here. Let's just look at the pictures. It's just like goes on and on.
It's had a lot of maintenance work done lately.
What's it say? I also have used Hot Shots EDD. What? I really use all the time. Okay, let's just look at pictures because. Oh, we're looking at pictures of this thing with this droopy front bumper that's actually pretty bad.
Yeah, the bumper droop is gnarly.
Yeah.
Look at the diesel leak on the rear tank.
Yeah, so we're looking at pictures of it out in the wild, if you will, doing CVT stuff, and it's kind of a cool truck. Like from the first glances, you're like, it's kind of cool, like rough enough that you wouldn't worry about scratching it up, going out in the desert and doing camping stuff.
The camper is like a utility workman style camper shell. It's
right.
Like,
something you see like a utility company, like I picture like a lineman service truck that goes out there and checks for like problems, then calls your lineman in to fix it.
Yeah, it's been converted.
Right, so the sides open up, which might be kind of cool. I never thought about that.
Might be handy.
Right. Okay, got solar panels on top of the camper.
Yep.
So
nice little awning.
He has a picture of the awning. It seems like that's a staple around these parts to have an awning on all your vehicles that slides out so you can camp wherever.
It's got bed slide drawers.
And the side of the canopy opens up, which is cool. I mean, it doesn't look terrible inside the
Honestly,
canopy.
yeah, it's not bad. This thing looks like it's been pretty thought out and put together nice.
It's actually kind of cool that the side of canopy opens up, and so you have like this. You can open it up and just sleep in your bed and just kind of look out
into the like covered awning area.
This thing's kind of cool.
It's making some sense.
It's making some sense. The 25K is really starting to show what
it has an oven. Like that, I didn't realize this. The Camp Chef oven stovetop combo. I didn't even know they made that. Like that's a cook, like your typical Camp Chef, but it also has an oven.
I mean,
it's pretty sweet.
Check out the rod holder up there for your fishing pole.
Yeah.
I mean, this thing's cool, you guys. You might need to check this thing out. You know what? Okay, here's what I look at. The OG rear bumper looks pretty good.
I'm just curious. Yeah, it does. So my biggest gripe with this is I've seen a lot of the like built out camper, and it's cool.
Sure.
Like, don't get me wrong, it's done well, but it's not worth $25,000 because of that camper. Like, I want to know why this truck Like, what's the interior like? What's the underhood look like? You
I
know, like,
what worries me is the paint looks like it's almost a wrap or something, or it's
or
been
a
primered or a
respray.
respray. It's not like shiny. It looks like it's all faded out. I mean, can we
The
just
bumper for sure was caught by one of those tires.
yes, like the bumper is bad. Like just fix the bumper and maybe like some like more interior pics. And maybe there's a reason why he's not showing us interior pics, but I would speculate that the interior probably looks as bad as that bumper. Just
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Um, but the rest of the truck, so it doesn't look shackle reversed, so it's kind of ride like shit.
yes. It's gonna
Most
ride. Yeah,
pretty rough.
yeah. It doesn't look like it's gonna ride nice at all.
I can tell you this though, the way like the way it sits with the suspension lift it has on it and the tires, wheels, it looks good though.
It does.
Like
No,
I
it
would
totally
generally
looks good.
stop and look at this truck minus the front bumper area.
Yeah, that like address that, and you got a pretty decent one, especially because it's missing badges.
I kind of like that though.
I do too, but with the paint the way it is, it really just lets you know that this thing is
There's more stuff about the camper than there is about the truck itself.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
is that the only pictures? That's
yeah,
it.
that's it.
Wow. All right. Well, good luck with that one. Whoa. The $12,000 F-150 regular cab short bed, but it's a flare side.
Oh, this is
That thing is sick.
nice.
I don't know about the
Okay.
front bumper though. We're on a bumper thing today.
1995 Ford F-150 regular cab short bed asking $12,000 listed 6 weeks ago in Phoenix, Arizona, has 160,000 miles. Description: Ford F-150 1995 motor 5.0 power windows 4x4 160 ... miles regular clean and clear AZ title no trades
Let's
Arizona base.
Okay, let's roll those pictures.
So we got cab lights.
Okay, so we're looking at
What bumper is this? Oh yeah, sorry. Give it the description.
I was just saying like the description on this one, if you're not watching our Derpy podcast, is what color is that, John?
Yeah, I think it's blue.
It looks dark blue.
Yeah, it's dark blue.
And we're talking a Uno cab stumpy flare box, which is you don't see those very often.
No.
And it's rocking. Okay, this is cool. It's rocking a set of BFG muds. When's the last time you saw a person rocking BFG muds? You don't see them very often.
I mean,
I love that tire.
I had a set of 39s in the shop on JP's 4Runner.
I love that tire.
They're really good.
Yeah, they're expensive though.
Very
expensive.
What bumper is that?
I don't know what bumper this is. I thought it was a 6.0 bumper, but I'm confused on that. It's got an aftermarket bumper on it, but the rest of the truck looks OG. We're talking like, okay, so tire and wheel on this thing looks like a 35, I think. But what's cool, it's rocking old school Mickey Thompsons.
Yes, wide ones.
I love the Mickey Thompsons. I mean, my first choice can be Weld Super Singles, but the Mickey Thompsons with the big holes, now those look like the small holes. But Mickey Thompson wheels back in the day were the shit. There is like Weld Super Singles and all the other Weld shit, and then there's Mickey Thompson's, and then the rest is history. Like everything else is like shit, right?
Oh yeah, no,
that's a good looking wheel. Looks like a 10 wide. Okay, it's got a little stink bug to it on the lift side. So we're talking like a 6-inch lift. It's the cheaper lift. It's not a long extended radius arms, which sucks. But you know what?
What do you think the owner looks like? It's parked out in front of LA Fitness with this kind of lift.
Ooh, damn, John, that's a tough one. What's the owner look like with the cheesy lift?
I'll bet you it looks like he missed leg day. Not that I have any room to talk. I'm no like built muscle man, but I'm just like making a rash judgment.
Is he wearing a muscle shirt?
Well, for sure.
Muscle shirt, and he's drinking a protein shake.
Oh no, it's a girl.
Oh shit!
Dang it,
Sarah. Like,
sorry,
she works
Sarah.
at LA Fitness.
Maybe
she works at LA
I'm
Fitness.
sorry, just the picture of this truck in front of LA Fitness. I'm just like got this like muscle tank. Like I go to the tanning salon.
But maybe
dude,
Sarah
like,
likes to party. You know, like, if this is Sarah's rig, I mean, hey, check out how. Now I look at the details. I look at the rear wheel is rocking the factory OG center cap. I didn't know you could do that on that wheel.
Yeah,
that's
that
interesting.
Looks good.
It does look good. Notice how the lift. Okay, so I love about these Rough Country, or I think it was Rough Country that made these lifts.
Oh yeah, it's Rough Country.
Where they didn't use extended radius arms; they just dropped the radius arm bracket down. And so look at your wheel, how far back your wheel is in the wheel well.
Yeah, why do it correctly?
Super derpy. I bet it steers like shit.
But Rough Country makes a lot more money than I do, so
What do we know? They're the Walmart of the suspension lifts. Interior's fucked.
Yeah,
Just bad.
that's not. They didn't come black, did they?
Not that I know of, but I love how the buttons are all like disassembled in the steering wheel. The airbag's probably ready to blow. And seats. Let's talk about the seats. We got a 40-20-40 setup that someone looks either like they rolled around in black ink to like
dye
it, or did they dye those seats black?
I don't know.
It's rough. Okay, this is vinyl interior.
What? Vinyl
floor.
Oh yeah.
That's interesting.
I hate those Metra doubled in dash kits. I'm sorry if you guys have one. I just don't. Especially with the new, we tried to do the dash pad where you cut the dash.
It's like, why do that when you can buy a single din that has a screen on it?
Yeah, those those are so sweet.
And you're not cutting your dash out.
Granted, the Boss one I've had is not.
That Kenwood one or Pine, I think it's Kenwood that we put in all the trucks, dude. It's been solid.
I think Alpine.
Or Alpine, thank you. Yeah. It's solid. Like it does.
They're really good.
Yeah, and you can't see, everything's compact. You don't have to cut your dash. What if you want to replace something in the future? Oh, I can't. My dash is all cracked out or cut out.
Yeah.
That's not a.
It's a 2020 truck, right?
Okay, so here's the deal: flare sides, step sides, whatever you want to call them. Like, I never really was a big fan until now.
Yeah,
I think those, like, someone needs there's one out there. I think they were like giving it away, but a crew cab short bed with a flare side on it.
That's what Grant wants to do with his.
Oxford white or a solid color would look. Kenny and I talk about that, and I always gave Kenny shit for wanting a flare side, and I'm like, that's lame, Kenny. But now I'm like, dude, the OBS flare side has a cool look to it.
It does. Yeah, I really dig it.
Yeah, and you don't see them that often. That's probably why I'm like, oh, that's something I need.
Yeah,
you don't see it.
Yeah, you need that for your collection.
Sure, like that's exactly what I need in my life.
I think you need at least 3 more trucks.
I was going to text Enrique. I almost bought that.
Which one?
That single cab short bed bullnose from him.
I didn't know.
He had one on rollers that was just like a shell with it. Yeah. Red. It was pretty sick.
Should have done patina. It.
I know. I think it sold. All right. Let's look at some positive stuff now that we're going away from the negative. Wow. There's a lot of cool stuff in Pahonix. What is that dually right there?
In Buckeye?
Let's check that out. It's on big wheels. Oh, no tailgate panel. That's all right. We're not the end of the world.
1996 Ford F-350 crew cab, $21,500 in Buckeye, Arizona.
And it's on with 260K, people. Beautiful 1996 F-350 7.3 Power Stroke in great condition. Brand new wheels out of the box and rubbers less than 10 or 100 miles on them. Interior is a 10 out of 10. That's a bold statement. Interior 10 out of 10 with that mileage. All right, we'll play this game. Paint is excellent shape. Mainly sits in the garage. Don't use much. 23,000 miles or $20,000 or BO. Trade for an Escalade or Denali.
2015 or newer.
2015. Oh, 2015 or newer Denali.
Can you get a Denali or an Escalade, a 2015 or newer for that price range?
I don't know, but I hate those vehicles.
Really?
Downright hate anything Escalade, Denali. They're always the first pile of shit to have problems out of the factory warranty. Hate them all day long.
Okay.
It's a very bad vehicle to own.
I think they look killer.
They look killer, but they're always the ones we have to deal with electrical problems and all kinds of shit that comes down the pipeline.
Good to know.
This truck is a two-tone, which looks to be a factory color, if I'm not mistaken, John.
Is there any? Yeah, I think so. But is there any way to take a picture that doesn't make you have to turn your head?
Yeah, like if you're gonna take pictures and post stuff for sale, like
don't make the other picture have to turn like the complete opposite direction.
Maybe.
Like what the fuck? Come on.
Okay, people are gonna shit on this truck because it doesn't have the proper mirrors, but I kind of like a Nemo mirror on a dually.
Dude,
for some reason.
I like it.
I do. I mean, like, it looks
I don't
good.
like the visor on it though. I don't like the blue visor.
I'm not a visor guy.
So it's white with a blue
stripe.
Blue stripe. I don't know what. It's the lighter blue. It's not Calypso, which is green, but has your classic glow shift gauges.
And I like how the gauge pod is black. It doesn't match the plastic in the vehicle. I always like that look.
Yeah.
Shows all that stuff. Shows a VIN. That's good to know.
Nice.
I like that. At least, I mean, that's a good thing. That's a good thing to show if you're going to sell something.
Totally.
Now,
Ooh, my favorite. It has an ashtray for the back seat, you know?
What's interesting though is that has a front bench seat.
Yeah.
That's kind of rare if it's the original seat. You don't see that very often. And carpet doesn't look too bad.
Are you seeing this as a 10 out of 10 interior?
I'm not sold on that one yet, John. And I like to see on that dash pad because in Arizona it gets spicy hot, and usually dash pads do not like that. We have a Sinister
diesel intake.
Yeah, I love that.
With the
we're turning our heads a lot.
Lux Brad.
I don't know.
A Lux radiator.
Okay, you know what? Let's contact this gentleman. He needs to pay for my neck surgery I'm gonna need for all the twisting of my neck to look at his pictures.
Oh, this is interesting. It has a factory
fuel
pump with a regulated return.
Makes total sense. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
why.
how I would.
Yeah, I would do that too. Can you imagine all the fuckery we're going to encounter in our 15 years down the road with these trucks working on them?
It's going to be so bad. I'm not going to work on them.
Listen, Kenny and I are going to do a how-to video on how to solder wires together, because I don't know how many butt connectors I find on these trucks that are coming apart, pulled apart, arcing against something. It's like, no, a little bit of solder, like doing it right with a butt connector and heat shrink. That's not that complicated, and it will last forever.
Yep.
It's comical. And then I go, Kenny, do you imagine all the shit we're going to find later on down the road? Like things cut up and modified?
Well, think about if you bought like a 67 through 72 Chevy right now.
Yeah. Can you imagine all the hands that were in there?
Gosh.
You're probably going to buy you're going to find a bunch of Fords where they put GM mirrors on it.
It's like
how ridiculous would that be?
It's like
marrying a stripper. Tell me about your woes. All right, moving on. This isn't really interior being a 10 out of 10. It's
a bold statement.
I would tell you right now, Mr.
About this.
Oh, what's this?
What this intake?
Okay, so hold on a minute. You know what this is? Don't click on it. Don't even click on that. You want to know why?
Why?
Because it's not even OBS, bud. That is
it's a 5.4, so it's got Triton.
No, so that's going to be okay, everyone. If you don't know this, 97 was a goofy year for us. Okay, 97 was goofy because they made two different F-250s, John.
Yep.
They made a light duty and a heavy duty. Light duty was what we call, Kenny and I say, it's the Ford Taurus body style, F-150.
Totally
F-250.
is.
It looks like a Ford Taurus front end. And what that was is Ford, some idiot in engineering or sales said, hey, let's take, in 97, they came out with a whole new body style, F-150. Right? There is no 97 F-150s unless you're like special and they made one, like they stamped the VIN code the last.
No OBS.
No
F-150s.
OBS. Correct. There's no OBS 97 F-150s. It went to a totally drastic different body style. Right?
Right.
So then for some magical reason, they made a light duty 3/4 ton in that body style.
And they made but they made a 150 and a 250.
Correct, but the 250 was they're both on the same platform, so to speak. But the F-250 light duty was not an OBS.
Right. What was the difference between that and the F-150 of the same body style?
I don't know.
Was
GVW
it just
is
spring rate,
and lug pattern.
Were they 7 lug, or were they 8?
8 or 7. Ooh, now you got me worried. It was one of those. A totally different lug pattern. I think it was a metric lug pattern. I don't think it was
8 on 170.
Yeah, I hated those years. And so that's okay. So fast forward, there it is right there. Yeah. Well, how many? What's that center? What's that picture there of the lug nuts? How many's on there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that 7?
I think it's 6.
No, 7. It's got a 7 lug. 7 lug.
Can you even get wheels for that?
I don't know, but those were terrible trucks, in my opinion, to deal with.
This one here says it's great for hauling a trailer.
No way, with a 5.4. Now that was
F-250 of this year in body style are not really common.
That's right, because they're piles of shit. No one wanted them. The big thing though was that's what made ordering parts difficult.
Oh yeah,
because
I always order for just an F-350 and 96.
96. Everything I tell the parts guys, I tell Eric, our parts guy, hey, I need this, but make sure you order for 96. Anytime you say 97, it gets fucking parts people all twisted up.
Yeah, they have no clue.
Right. It's like deer in the headlights. And I believe that's why they came up with the OBS, the old body style. Because then what happened was, so 99, they came out with the Super Duty. So then when we
Were there any 98 trucks?
no, not that I know of. Oh, did they do a 98 F250 light duty? That's a good question.
I bet they did.
They might have. But anyway, that's why they came with the OBS, because when we'd call up and go, hey, I have a 97 F350. And they go, oh, is it an OBS, an old body style Ford? I remember the Ford guys saying that, using that as a definition to define if it's the older body style than the newer body style, 97 era shit.
Because really, any Ford that's not a 2017 and newer is an OBS.
Is that right?
I mean, wouldn't it be old body style?
That's bullshit. Because I was talking to
the 2016s are technically the older body style.
Who was I talking to? I was talking to Ford era.
Yeah.
Super nice guy. And he's like, well, technically, dent side and bump sides are old body styles. I'm like, no. Us trailer park body style.
A Model T's an old body
Right,
style.
like, no. Us trailer park people, that's our world. You can't take the OBS world. How dare you?
How dare you?
That's bullshit. So anyway, moving on. Let's find something else, because that didn't pan out very well. We're scrolling through Arizona.
I'm curious about this, and I don't know if I want to describe it just yet. But
you just want to click on it and see what happens?
Yeah, if it loads. It's just because of the color. Ooh, I
don't hate it.
Okay.
I don't hate it.
Well, this is a 1994 Ford F-150, $4,000 in Phoenix. Description's minimal. It's got a 5.0, 161,000 miles. Eddie Bauer with the same color scheme as your Bronco, that copper.
I love that color.
Right? Isn't that the color scheme there?
I would call it copper, and I think the bottom is a desert sand. I think that's what Kenny said it was, something like that.
This one has a paint matched.
I call them a canopy. Some people call them a topper. I don't know what the terminology is there.
I don't know.
Is it? It's got what running boards are those?
They don't look factory.
Oh, it's got a dented. This thing's rough, John.
I
picked a rough truck.
I just want to see the color. Yeah, oh yeah.
This thing's. It is a Mass Air 302, which is cool. That's cool. Oh, the back seat. You got a kid's seat, tools, painter's trough, maybe, ? All kinds of shit. Like, it makes me really want to buy this vehicle when I see that. Okay, this is not turning out well.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a bad pick. Keep scrolling, John. There's got to be a little. Okay, I'm low hanging fruit. There's two trucks here I'm looking at. The 94 F-150 short box, and then there's the 95 F-350 regular cab on big wheels. It just caught my attention. Ooh, wait a minute. Sorry.
Where are we going?
10K. Crew cab short. Or extended cab short. Joshua Tree, California, and it is the dark blue. That's a good looking truck.
That's like the Tramline green. I believe.
Holy shit. 85,000 miles, automatic, green. Wait, what? Exterior is green. What?
Yeah, it's green.
That does not look green to me. Seriously? That's green.
I mean, it does look bluish in the photo. But
interior's gray. Gas. I'm hoping it's a 460 truck.
Yep,
it's not
460.
diesel. Okay, so I'm gonna read the description because I'm all over this right here.
Yeah.
96 F250, 4x4. It's obviously a 3/4 ton. It's an extended cab. We call those party cabs because that's where you party in. And it is a short box, stumpy box, which this is what John and I talked about. It's a 4x4, 16 truck. We love these trucks. We have a soft spot for this because
85,000 miles.
Yeah, and they only made it from 2 years. Dual tanks, towing package with brake controller, only 3 owners. Isn't that funny? Only 3 owners, which is pretty good for a vehicle that age, right?
Of that age, for sure.
Been parked for 2 years. The color is blue-green. Okay, so let's see the pictures. I got an OG bumper in the rear. First thing I look for. We got the derpy, cheesy Nerf bars.
Those are coming off immediately.
It's rocking like a
eagle wheels.
Which those don't look terrible for that vintage a truck. Oh, shit.
Oh, the interiors is
stellar.
Nice. It's got a terrible steering wheel cover.
I don't care as long as the steering wheel's primo. I'll take that thing off. 85K.
85.
Wow.
Look at how the description though. This just cracks me up. It says less than 89,000 original miles. I'm like, that's not. You could have said less than 86. But why? How'd you come up with 89? It's also less than 92,000 original miles.
Less than 1 million.
Yeah. Man, that's incredible.
Why would you say
85,000?
You know
for
what?
10 grand listed an hour ago. Dude, you want to make a road trip?
Fuck yeah, I will. This thing's awesome. Keep going. I hope it's not like blown out.
It's got
underneath.
the factory CD player.
And the interior looks legit. This is more of a 10 out of 10 than that last truck we looked at.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit, this thing is awesome.
Is this? No, that's all.
It's all OG.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, the seats look good. Okay, so go back. By the way, listeners, if you are watching what we're watching, the plastic around our seats is the biggest thing I look for when it comes to especially extended cab trucks, because you have to like if you had to get in the back, you have to like move the seat forward, and your feet always get caught on that piece when getting in and out of it. Like it usually rips the plastic off the seat. This one looks to be there. Carpet's not all mangled up. Oh, this is actually,
dude. This thing, look at the brake pedal. What? It's true.
Okay. The reason I'm laughing is John learned a very valuable lesson that when someone says a vehicle has like less than 300,000 miles on it, always check the brake pedal to see if it's worn
Jesse and
through.
Tony were like, this brake pedal does not look like it has 100,000 miles. I'm like, whatever.
Listen, double check your brake pedals when purchasing a used vehicle or doing a vehicle inspection. It could indicate the wear and tear on the vehicle.
They were 100% correct.
Or a swapped instrument cluster. That's a whole other story. Follow us for earlier
Listen to
podcast.
a few back.
This is not a bad truck. 10K is it?
10K is not a bad deal. I bet you pick it up for 8.
Fuck! Look at the tailgate panel. Looks legit.
I'm just curious. There is some schmutz under the back. What is that from?
For 10K? What do you buy for 10K? You know what? I will sell that 33,000 mile truck for pennies on a dollar, so I get money to go buy that. That's way cooler.
Jonah Jackie Briggs. I just gotta see. Because we're in Joshua Tree. You know, Joshua Tree is like home of doing psychedelics and hanging out in the desert. Yep.
Jonah looks like that person.
That's what Joshua Tree looks like.
Is that right? I've never been there.
Oh, dude, that's what that place is known for.
I always figured Joshua Tree is for like burying dead bodies.
No, it's like very hippie.
It is?
Yeah, and there's a bunch of cool places to see there.
She looks like she has some interesting stories.
Yeah.
I mean,
yes. See what I mean? This is Joshua Tree.
I bet I know who she voted for.
Oh, for
sure. And who she's angsty at right now.
Probably.
I mean,
everybody's, people are just angsty.
Isn't it funny? Why is it the older generation really hit Facebook hard?
I don't know.
Why is that? My mom is so Facebook.
It was a new thing.
But it's like such a way to connect with your other people, right?
Yeah.
Like that's like like I don't.
Hey, at least they're adapting with the times.
That's true.
But now I feel behind. Like I don't have Snapchat or.
Oh, neither. Yeah.
The business has TikTok, but I don't have it. Like I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm good. But this truck, Jonah, like that's
been parked for 2 years. This is what we need to fly down.
Yeah,
and pick up back and drive back.
You want to go 50-50 it?
I would.
Would Trin let you then? You better talk to Trin. I'll talk to Lisa.
Okay. I'm going to save this one because
after that center console conversation, we might be fucked.
Oh, they don't have to hear that. They don't listen to this. If I get in trouble for that because she's listening to our podcast, I will all right, cool. Thank you.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Thanks for the listens because we need a lot more listens.
Oh, that's good stuff. Anyway, okay, one more for the time. So there's a cool stuff here in Arizona. There's some cool shit.
Yeah, Arizona's cool. And my parents live down there, so it's...
Maybe your mom would... Can your dad go look at that truck for us?
There's...
What do you got?
Why are we... We're like, it's crossing over into dirt bike land.
Which I'm not hating. Another cruise short. Oh, 97.
No. Right here.
82 F-150 regular cab. This is the last one. I got to get on Git. The mountain's like snowing heavily. I'm hoping to get home. Let's see here. Let's do this last one. 82 F-150 for $15K. Descriptions and photos. Street legal.
Santan Valley, Arizona.
Okay. Street legal and insured. That's good to know. Comes with a set of paddles. That means it likes to party.
Yes.
No longer have two carriers. Just what's in the truck.
Must mean like third member or something.
Don't know. Comes with a set of bypass shocks for the rear and remote resis for the front. Looking for cash or trade for a Cummins /7.350 or 7.3, etc. Hit me up with what you got. Worst I can say is no. What we're looking at here is a picture of this is what I tell you people, if you're gonna sell things on Marketplace, get a good picture on the front cover. It's a single cab, short bed, and it's not at first thought it's like a long travel like desert truck,
Yeah,
but
I'm trying to figure out. It's got bedsides and
fiberglass sides maybe or
a
flared out.
bed cage ish.
Yeah, it's like all reinforced, no inner fenders.
Oh, it's got a interesting rear trailing arm setup.
I like that it's a bullnose. That's okay. From the front, it looks like it's got
TIB, so
Yep.
it's 2-wheel drive.
and it's like long travel stuff with big. Oh, it's running boingy springs up front.
Not really long travel.
No, it's would you call that medium travel?
This is the wish.com. Dude, this
Okay, what we got is the wish.com
trophy truck.
trophy truck is what this is.
I mean, look at the spring.
It comes okay.
Oh my gosh.
so
Look at this suspension in the back for adjusting your ride height. See that?
Yes.
Do you see the all thread?
Okay, first thing, time out. I thought that was to keep I thought that was to house a second spring, like a backup spring.
I don't think so.
No, that is for the Okay, this is interesting.
This is the most interesting rear suspension.
I would want to look at this in person.
Okay, let's paint a picture. So right behind the cab, this thing has like a bed cage-ish, and it has a boingy spring, which is like a standard coil spring, like it looks like, like your Super Duty front spring. And then it has 2 tubes next to it with a spring hat and collars that go over those 2 tubes with a piece of all thread on top that like adjusts your
Ride
height and your preload.
I would think the time that you put into that, you could have bought coilovers and did it differently.
I mean, maybe this thing was built in like 1982.
Is that 1982 technology? Did they not have coilovers back then?
No, like multiple shocks, having to like
True.
Like you can't just like have. This truck is.
It's very interesting.
Very interesting.
It's got bypass, or it's got resis.
Yeah, it said it comes with a set of bypasses. Like
the tube work is very so it's all tubed in the front, but it's like it's not half-assed looking.
No,
it's not like it's like cobbled together. Like someone actually put some time into it. This might be if you were to go back to 1982.
This might be like top tier technology back then.
Right.
It's got dual spares. Like the tube work actually doesn't like. If this was built back then, the tube work seems kind of
it'd be cool to go see this gentleman or talk to him and like hear the history of this truck.
It's unique. I feel I'm sorry about the wish.com comment.
You're too nice of a guy.
I think I need to know more about it. It looks like it was probably built in the early 80s.
Minus the Holly Sniper EFI system.
Well, that's easy to update.
Oh, for sure. I'm just saying, it's like everything else. C6 tranny. I mean, it's like Summit Brothers TIG welder for. I mean,
old school 4-link trailing arms with coil spring.
It's cool, dude. I mean, this is a cool truck to look at. Just to look at like the technology then, right?
Yeah.
Equal length beams, kingpin style. It's been extended and straightened. Stock forward spindles and stock front brakes. That's funny, stock front brakes. I mean, it's interesting. Check. Okay, where can people find this at? We got
this is in Santan Valley. It's listed for $15,000. 1982 Ford F-150.
Very cool truck.
It's odd.
I kind of find it cool. Just
I do
it's
too.
Something different. It's a trailing arm setup with a coil spring. In fact, you're right. There's the bottom of the coil spring right there.
Yeah, this is old school technology.
We learned something new today, John.
Totally.
That you can take a coil spring and put it under preload.
Stick some all thread,
and
dude, the threads.
Oh, it'd take a beating.
Like, how are you not shearing that all thread?
I don't know. That's pretty good though, and I bet it's been used. I mean, it looks like it.
I mean, it looks like it's raced. Like, it's got a number.
You know what? Put a number on anything. It's a race rig.
It's true.
What are we at, John?
Our 15 hour 20ish.
Well, I gotta get over the hill before it gets too spicy because there's a storm coming in.
Yeah. All right. Well, you guys are listening to the Truckery podcast. Help spread the word. And if you have topic ideas, send them to us.
We love your questions. We love your answers. We love your riddles. Just send them to us.
We want to grow this and maybe grow to the point where it's feasible for us to, go do like a cheap truck challenge or go do something fun and video and I don't know, like make it. We want to make better and better content, and we have ideas.
We do, and we're just two derpy guys, so don't take us too seriously. I don't know. It's just a good time hanging out, John. Always like always,
Agreed.
Hey, everyone. Thanks so much for listening. I'm Devin with OBS Solutions.
And I'm John with Carrot Customs, and we will talk to you next time.
Thanks.
Cheers.